Letter 197 by Charles Lamb. End of 1810 or early 1811. My dear Sarah, I have taken a large sheet of paper, as if I were going to write a long letter, but that is by no means my intention, for I only have time to write 3 lines to notify what I ought to have done the moment I received your welcome letter. Namely, that I shall be very much joyed to see you. Every morning lately I have been expecting to see you drop in, even before your letter came, and I have been setting my wits to work to think how to make you as comfortable as the nature of our inhospitable habits will admit. I must work while you are here, and I have been slaving very hard to get through with something before you come, that I may be quite in the way of it, and not tease you with complaints all day that I do not know what to do. I am very sorry to hear of your mischance. Mrs. Rickman has just buried her youngest child. I am glad I am an old maid, for you see there is nothing but misfortunes in the marriage state. Charles was drunk last night and drunk the night before, which night before was at Godwin's, where we went at a short summons from Mr. G. to play a solitary rubber, which was interrupted by the entrance of Mr. and little Mrs. Liston, and after them came Henry Robinson, who is now domesticated at Mr. Godwin's fireside, and likely to become a formidable rival to Tommy Turner. We finished there at 12 o'clock, Charles and Liston brimful of gin and water and snuff, after which Henry Robinson spent a long evening by our fireside at home, and there was much gin and water drunk, albeit only one of the party partook of it, and H.R. professed himself highly indebted to Charles for the useful information he gave him on sundry matters of taste and imagination, even after Charles could not speak plain for tipsiness. But still, he swallowed the flattery and the spirits as savourily as Robinson did his cold water. Last night was to be a night, but it was not. There was a certain son of one of Martin's employers, one young Mr. Blake, to do whom honour Mrs. Burney brought forth first rum, then a single bottle of champagne long kept in her secret hoard, then 2 bottles of her best currant wine which she keeps for Mrs. Rickman came out, and Charles partook liberally of all these beverages, while Mr. Young Blake and Mr. Ireton talked of high matters, such as the merits of the Whip Club, and the merits of red and white champagne. Do I spell that last word right? Rickman was not there, so Ireton had it all his own way. The alternating Wednesdays will chop off 1 day in the week from your jolly days, and I do not know how we shall make it up to you, but I will contrive the best I can. Phillips comes again pretty regularly, to the great joy of Mrs. Reynolds. Once more she hears the well-loved sounds of, "How do you do, Mrs. Reynolds? How does Miss Chambers do?" I have spun out my 3 lines amazingly. Now for family news. Your brother's little twins are not dead, but Mrs. John Hazlitt and her baby may be, for anything I know to the contrary, for I have not been there for a prodigious long time. Mrs. Holcroft still goes about from Nicholson to Tuthill, and from Tuthill to Godwin, and from Godwin to Tuthill, and from Tuthill to Godwin, and from Godwin to Tuthill, and from Tuthill to Nicholson, to consult on the publication or no publication of the life of the good man her husband. It is called the life everlasting. How does that same life go on in your parts? Goodbye, God bless you. I shall be glad to see you when you come this way. Yours most affectionately. I am going in great haste to see Mrs. Clarkson, for I must get back to dinner, which I have hardly time to do. I wish that dear, good, amiable woman would go out of town. I thought she was clean gone, and yesterday there was a consultation of physicians held at her house to see if they could keep her among them here a few weeks longer. This letter is dated by Mr. Hazlitt November 30, 1810, but I doubt if that can be right. See extract from Crabbe Robinson above, testifying to Lamb's sobriety between November 9 and December 23. Liston was John Liston, 1776, minus 1846, the actor whose mock biography Lamb wrote some years later, see vol. I of this edition. His wife was a diminutive comedienne, famous as Queen Dalalala in Tom Thumb. Lamb may have known Liston through the Burneys, for he is said to have been an usher in Dr. Burney's school, Dr. Charles Burney, Captain Burney's brother. Henry Robinson. Crabbe Robinson's diary shows us that his domestication by Godwin's fireside was not of long duration. I do not know who Tommy Turner was. Mr. Ireton was probably William Ayrton, the musical critic, a friend and neighbour of the Burneys, and later a friend of the Lambs, as we shall see. The alternating Wednesdays. The Lambs seem to have given up their weekly Wednesday evening, which now became fortnightly. Later it was changed to Thursday and made monthly. Mrs. Reynolds had been a Miss Chambers,